Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Manifest Maestro Mastermind. Listen, you guys, the topic is always the same. How do we shape our destiny? How do we manifest our dreams into the reality? And every time I do my job, I do my best to come up with a fun, creative name for these kind of challenges. But honestly, it is always about the same idea. And every single time I give you a new spin. So last time we had abundance challenge and we talked about how to create, how to step into the flow of abundance in every area of our lives. And this challenge is actually, the intention truly is, I just want to share with you the tools that I've used in my own life to create my dream life. And I always share with you guys everything that I've tried in my own life and that has delivered incredible results. So anything from, my thriving marriage and happy family life to starting, growing, eventually selling a hugely successful business, to literally picking up my kids and my husband and traveling around the world for a year, to manifesting this beautiful retreat center in Taos, New Mexico, and on and on and on. So hopefully my intention is to share with you everything that I am excited about, everything that I am passionate about, and hopefully you too will feel inspired and empowered to kick off your kickstart your manifesting magic and literally manifest your dreams into your reality. Okay, so we're going to be here for 3 days. This is a 3-day challenge. And today I want to start with just kind of like setting it up for you. And today we'll talk about 4 stages of spiritual development and how it relates to our manifest magic. Now, I know that many of you have been with me in different trainings that I lead, different challenges that I lead. And if you've already heard this, I invite you to listen intently because, first of all, repetition is a mother of skill. And second of all, even if you know something and yet you are not you're not yet experiencing everything that you desire in your life, consider that knowing something is completely different than embodying something or mastering something. So from my own experience, every time, I usually read the same book 5, 6, 10 times. If I sign up for a course, I watch the recording 5, 6 times because every single time I hear something new and something different. If I do a seminar, I usually go, multiple times to my teachers and take the same seminar over and over again, because even though I know something, I learn something new every single time. So 4 stages of spiritual development. The first stage is called, I'm just going to give you a summary really quickly, and then I'm going to go deeper into each stage. So the first stage is called the victim mindset, or in this stage, we experience life as things happen to me. The second stage, as we evolve, is the manifestor stage, or in this stage, we realize that everything, the reality as we experience it, our life, is because we created it that way. And this stage is called by me stage. In other words, by me, I create all the experiences in my life. The third stage is a channel or a vessel stage, when you realize that you are a channel for the divine, or the channel for the universe to work its magic through you. So this stage is called through me stage. And then the final stage is when ultimately yoga is all about this stage. It's remembering that we're all one. We're one with the divine. We're one with each other, with everything in this world. And this stage is called as me stage. In other words, the divine gets to express itself into this physical reality as you. So let me go a little bit deeper into this, every stage of our spiritual development, and share with you how it relates into our everyday life, and how knowing this and realizing, oh, in this area of my life, I'm in this stage or in this stage, how it helps you truly hone in your manifest magic skills. So the vast majority of the world, most of us live in the victim mindset. Or, I mean, it's not like it's our conscious choice, but most of us, the vast majority of the world, experience our life as it is happening to me. So in other words, we think that our outside circumstances shape our reality. So let me give you some examples. So the state of the economy today, or the coronavirus, affect my life. This is why my reality is the way it is. This is why my life is the way it is. Or, my ex or my parents, or all men or all women, oh, my workers, they're really lazy. So we experience life, and you actually, in this stage, there is a lot of resentment, there is a lot of blame, there is a lot of pointing of the fingers. In this stage, we find ourselves being oftentimes helpless, like, well, this is just the way things are. Or we experience life as something really hard. And you'll hear people say it a lot, oh, owning your business is so hard. Starting your business is so hard. Dating is so hard. The economy sucks, so it's really hard to find a job right now. Are you with me, guys? So in this stage, if you catch yourself saying things like that, oh, it's like really hard. It's so hard to eat healthy and exercise every day. Or like, all the good ones have already taken. It's so hard to find a decent man these days. Have you ever heard anybody say things like that? So these are just some examples of how we, in this stage of our spiritual development, we experience life from a victim's mindset. And what I want to say here is that, these stages of spiritual development, they're not linear. So in other words, you can be really thriving and you can be really evolved in one area of your life and get triggered and go right into your victim mindset in other areas of your life. So I was trying to come up with an example, and I thought, well, anytime my little brother gets into trouble, which is often, I immediately go into the victim mindset. And it feels like a contraction in my body. So I go into like, well, why do I have to pay for him? Well, I work around the clock. I bust my butt. I'm always working. Why do I have to pay for him to sit on his ass and do nothing? And then I get triggered and I get really angry and upset, and I blame him for not doing anything, for not stepping up and taking charge of his life. And just like that, in a split second, I am in a victim mindset. Are you with me, guys? Or instead, I can make a new choice and I can remember, well, what a blessing it is to be able to support my family. Or when I take a deep breath and I actually make a new choice, when I catch myself, oh, right now I'm in a victim mindset, I remember that all the relationships in our lives are divine assignments. That my relationship with my brother is mirroring to me something that I need to learn about myself. And actually, every time I'm triggered, or any time this situation comes up with my brother, it just means that there is more learning for me in that particular situation, in that particular relationship. And as a matter of fact, until I learn my divine lesson, it will continue coming up over and over and over again in my life. So let me type up in the chat window your ideas, like how do you see yourself, or maybe people in your life in the victim mindset. You know, they blame, oh, my mean boss is the reason why I'm not getting a promotion at work. Or, oh, COVID-19, this is the reason why my business is not, you know, is barely surviving right now. Give me some examples, you guys. Chat, put it in the chat, in the chat window. Give me some examples of what people would say or who would they tend to blame when they're in the victim mindset. While you're thinking and while you're coming up with your brilliant ideas, I want to also say that, you know, in this stage of our spiritual development, like I said, we tend to blame others. We tend to blame the outside circumstances. You know, this stage, our experience of life in this stage feels like a physical contraction, right? We feel resentment, we feel unforgiveness, we dwell in lack, and we experience life as from that lack mentality. And you can't vibrate lack and at the same time expect abundance. You know, you cannot hold on to resentment and at the same time expect blessings to come into your life. Do you know what I mean? You can't hold on to unforgiveness and blame and expect the flow of abundance to show in your life. So let me see what you're typing. Ooh, I'm so curious to see how your words are landing. My boss is a Republican. Yeah, I like that, Greer. Yeah, my boss is a Republican. Therefore, he doesn't understand me. I don't get a promotion at work because he knows that I'm liberal. I'm just making it up. I shouldn't apply for a promotion because of what the other team members think of my abilities, not what I think of my abilities. Yes, Deneen, very good. I'm always trying to fix things, make things better for others, mostly my family. And this actually feels like that mindset. Yes, such an old, and it's such an old role, and it's a myth that really served no one ultimately. Yes. So Kira, similar to me, you know, whenever I have to go and rescue my brother, you know, I feel as a victim every single time. Oh, it's not my job. Why do I have to go? You know, and even though I go and rescue him anytime, I help him because I love him, but that vibration of me feeling like a victim and resentful and angry and blaming him for the lack of whatever, you know, not the lack of ambition, is actually hurts only me. And that vibration prevents me from, you know, shaping my destiny, making my desires my reality, vibrating higher so that I can literally, you know, like in our last challenge, I said, a true abundance is when you experience ease and flow in every area of your life. And whenever you feel all these, you know, what I call glitches, those glitches become blocks to your manifesting powers. Those glitches become giant blocks to your powers, your birthright to co-create with the universe. Employer is unfair. Limited class size in my studio. Means I can't make money. Yes. So, you know, look, it is easier to blame others. It's easier to blame the circumstances than to actually step up and innovate and come up with a new solution, than actually look inside, which is one of the hardest things to do. Look inside and see, how am I contributing to the situation? Are you with me? So I often talk to people who are going through some marital issues, and oftentimes one person will be like, oh, that's the other, that's my husband, he's this, and that. And I'm like, well, honey, I'm really sorry, but it takes two to tango. It's not all him, nor is it all you. It's somehow, you know, you're both contributing to the situation and the state of the affairs right now in your marriage. Blame the virus. because I can't visit my family in New York. Yes. So, so this is, thank you guys. Thank you so much for putting your ideas in the chat window. So would you agree with me that no matter how evolved you are, you know, we are all in some areas of our life from time to time, we find ourselves in the victim mindset. Yes, thank you. And anytime we are in the victim mindset, we literally lose our power. So how do we step out of this victim mindset, and how do we quantum leap to the next stage, which is the manifestor stage? In my opinion, it's actually three things. First is awareness. You know, most people live in this victim mindset and they don't even know that they do that. So the moment you recognize, oh, look, I'm triggered right now, and immediately, you know, I'm blaming others, I'm full of resentment, well, that means I'm in a victim mindset right now, right? Catching yourself and becoming aware or recognizing your habitual patterns is the first step towards change. The second, in my opinion, is actually learning, like realizing, oh my gosh, there is another way. Like a lot of times people don't even know, they just think that this is just the way things are. And if you believe that this is just the way things are, you just continue being a helpless victim. And then a lot of times it's so much easier to stay there than actually to step up and do something courageous, right? So the second stage is knowing that there is another way. And the third step to me is actually making a new choice. So I like to give you examples from my own life so that you kind of bring the theory into everyday life type of thing. So I own a beautiful retreat center. Right now it's a bed and breakfast in Taos, New Mexico, the land of enchantment. And you know what's happening right now? A lot of my employees got government assistance right now, COVID-19 money, and they don't want to work because they get more money from the government right now than actually coming to work and working. So it's a problem. You know, I don't have housekeepers, I don't have maintenance guys because, well, when I'm in the victim mindset, I tend to say, oh, well, everybody's on unemployment right now. And I would go down that road. Oh, everybody's on welfare in the state of New Mexico. People are lazy. They don't want to work. Blah, blah, blah. This state is not business friendly. And I just go on and on down that road. And then I get angry and I get upset and I get helpless, you know, and I get full of resentment, as opposed to, oh, I am the leader of my business. I can actually step up and come up with new creative ideas, how to attract workers to come and work for me. I can, you know, get on Workaway and get people from another country to come and work here. I can get volunteer, you know, so it is my job as a leader. It is my job as an entrepreneur, as a business owner to come up with a way, because I lead my business, I lead my community. Are you with me? But it would be so much easier just to blame that everybody's on welfare and nobody wants to work. This is just the way things are in Taos, which a lot of people actually say here in Taos. But I hope this example helps, okay? So the moment you realize that there is another way, and you learn that the second stage of our spiritual development is the manifestor stage, then everything shifts. I want to say one more thing. I think one of the most powerful tools to help you shift from the victim mentality and actually let go of resentment, blame, and grudge so that you can clear up your bandwidth and direct that massive energy to to shape your destiny, right? Do you know what I mean? Holding on to resentment, anger, and blame takes an incredible amount of energy. So holding on to unforgiveness takes up a giant part of your energetic bandwidth, so to speak, right? And that holding on to resentment, blame, and unforgiveness prevents you from using all that colossal energy and directing it towards actually creating the reality that you yearn for. So I think from my experience, one of the most powerful tools to clear that bandwidth and let go and forgive is forgiveness meditation. And there are lots of different practices, Ho'oponopono practice, the Hawaiian prayer. Tonight after this call, I'll send you a variation of a Brahma Vihara or metta meditation, loving kindness meditation. Is really, really powerful. And again, all of these tools work only if you work them, right? You can't just do meditation, forgiveness meditation once and expect, you know, just like magically let go of your resentment. I mean, if it took you 40 years to hold on to that grudge and unforgiveness, just know that it may take a little while for you to forgive the person or forgive yourself or forgive the situation. So that's why meditation, in my opinion, is a very powerful tool on this path of us evolving, growing, expanding, and manifesting that shit, if I do say so myself. Okay, this is really weird, you guys. I cannot see all of you. So if you're with me right now, give me some jazz hands. Are you excited about learning about the second stage of our spiritual development? Say yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Yes. So the second stage, and this is what this entire challenge is all about, is the Manifestor stage. This is when we've learned that, oh my gosh, there's actually another way. Oh my gosh, actually my thoughts, my beliefs, my energetic, my emotional state, my actions, my non-actions shape my reality. And as a matter of fact, everything that I'm experiencing in my life right now is the result of my old thought patterns, my beliefs, my action, my non-actions. All of it is the result of whatever I'm experiencing in my life right now is the result of those old patterns of thinking. That means that if I choose a new way, everything can shift. That to me is incredibly exciting. So in this stage is called by me. In this stage, we, you know, manifest that shit. We literally get to shape our own reality. We get to shape our destiny. And in this stage, you realize that only you, your thoughts, the meaning that you create out of things create your reality. Now you can say like, well, Albina, you know, what about that terrible thing that happened to me? You know, bad things happen to all of us. Bad things happen to all of us, but the meaning that you make out of whatever bad thing that happened is up to you. And that meaning changes everything. That meaning that you make out of whatever it is that happened literally shapes the way you see the world, and that shapes your reality. And I always like to say that, you know, we'll all of us, every single one of us on this planet will have challenges. Every single one of us will have problems. Every single one of us will have trials. And I truly and deeply believe that all of our challenges, all of our problems are meant to work for us. The things don't happen to us, they happen for us. Because as a result, if we decide to step up and learn from these experiences, we can grow, we can evolve, we can expand, we can get stronger. We become unstoppable, unbreakable, unshakable as a result of all these challenges. So again, I was like thinking, well, what kind of example can I bring to you out of my own life? And I was thinking, well, I have a very challenging relationship with my dad. You know, ever since my childhood, I've always had like, my dad wasn't around much. And I was thinking like, well, if my dad was around and if my dad was the dad that I wanted him to be, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I wouldn't be strong and kind and compassionate and forgiving and open and ambitious and driven. I wouldn't be who I am today if my dad was the dad that I wanted him to be. Are you with me? Give me some jazz hands if you're with me. So, you know, I just lost the track of my thought. So I think the first step to shift out of the victim mentality is also taking full responsibility for all of your experiences in your life. Now, taking a full responsibility doesn't mean it's your fault. Taking full responsibility means that I get to create a new meaning out of whatever it is that happened. If this thing happened, okay, right now I'm in this situation with COVID-19, all the retreats that I had booked for this year in my retreat center were canceled. Nobody wants to work. I can sit here and cry and feel sorry for myself and file for bankruptcy. Or I can take full responsibility. And once energetically I decide there is another way, I get to step up and make a new choice. My vibration, this challenge is in my life right here and now so that I can become even stronger. I am unstoppable. In that vibration, when I remember that, I get access to new ideas. I get access to innovation. Literally, in my opinion, once I make a new choice and I shift, internally, I decide that I am in charge. This challenge is happening for me and not to me. I make a new choice to grow and expand and evolve out of it. My vibration changes energetically, and I truly believe that the divine comes. You make one step towards the divine makes 100 steps towards you. This is why I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning and I meditate, because this is when I listen and I get all the ideas. I get so excited and I go ahead of me. We're going to talk about different meditations, but right now, let me just slow down. Let us all take a deep breath. Hold your horses, Albina. If I'm not making sense, please let me know, because sometimes I get so carried away and sometimes I'm not making any sense. Okay, so the manifestor stage. This is when you become that boss lady, that boss man. You take charge of your life. This is when you realize that it is your birthright to have, to give, to experience, to do whatever it is that your heart is yearning for. It is your birthright to shape your destiny and create the life of your dreams. I deeply believe so, and therefore my life has been just that. I get to live the life of my dreams. It doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. Of course I do. I'm a human being. And at the same time, I deeply believe that we all are creators of our reality, and we all get to create the life of our dreams. So once you realize this, there are lots of different tools, and this 3-day challenge is the time when I get to share with you some of the tools that I use in my everyday life to help me manifest that shit. So in this stage of your spiritual development, you get to stabilize all the different areas of your life. So in this stage, you realize that, well, actually, there are energetic spiritual laws that work just like the laws of physics work. They are universal laws. And once you learn them, once you master them, once you put them into work into your everyday life, you get to stabilize every single area of your life. Specifically, health, ultimate health. This is when you start taking care and truly loving your body temple. This is when you realize that the fact that you are alive is a tremendous gift. So you literally step into your ultimate health, right? Because you manifest it all. You stabilize the area of your relationships, right? And you create the relationships that you want to create, thriving, intimate, passion-filled, loving relationship. You get to stabilize that area of your life. Money, you get to step into the flow of abundance, right? Career, vacation, you start doing, at this stage, you find your higher purpose and you start doing the things, your vocation, your contribution to the world. You start doing the things that you truly love. That is your calling. So in this stage of your spiritual development, you stabilize, you create your dream life in all the areas of your life. And the tools that we use in this stage of our spiritual development, the tools that I'm going to share with you, in this challenge, meditation, my favorite, incantations. I'm going to tell you what an incantation is tomorrow, affirmations, and a big part of the stage is self-inquiry and personal growth. It's like that awareness, right? Oh, I didn't realize that in this area of my life, I've been in a victim mindset. Well, I didn't even know that there was another way. I didn't know that that boring thing that is kind of dumb called meditation, I thought it was a waste of time. I didn't know that actually if you devote your energy and time and attention to sit quietly in stillness and silence, I didn't know you get to like connect with the divine and receive all this divine guidance. I can tell you numerous stories about the guidance that I received in my meditation. This is why I get up. Do you think I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Hell no. I want to sleep. I want to stay in my bed, warm, tucked in, dreaming and like having all these nice dreams. No, I don't want to get my butt out of bed, but I do. And I sit in meditation for 2 hours every day because this is the time I connect. I believe I connect with God. You can call it connecting with the universe. You can call it connecting to the source, whatever you call it. Okay, again, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself. Let us take a deep breath. I even have a plan, guys. I even have my notes, what I'm supposed to talk about, and I'm just totally going ahead of myself. Let me tell you about the third stage of our spiritual development. And this is a stage of our growth. It's called the channel or a vessel stage. Or another word for this stage is through me. The divinity, God, the universe, the quantum field, the superconscious mind, the source, whatever you want to call it, whatever is the word that you can relate to. In this stage of our spiritual development, we realize that when we surrender, that power bigger than us can work literally miracles. When we surrender, I deeply believe that we are taking places beyond our wildest dreams. I've had so many stories in my life that was a testament for this stage of the spiritual development. And I like to tell you the story about, selling Yoga One, our 7 yoga studios. People ask me all the time, well, Albina, was it always your plan to start, grow, and then sell your yoga business? Hell no, I'm not that smart. Honestly, guys, I'm pretty smart, and I hustle and I'm pretty good in business, but I'm not that smart. It came to me in a vision meditation. And it wasn't like the clouds parted and said, Albina, in October of 2017, you and Roger are going to sell your yoga business. It doesn't work like that. I mean, God is not that literal. Yoga One was just not a part of my vision meditation anymore. And I just stayed open. I surrendered, or I obeyed. I let go of control, of me wanting to control or having a particular outcome. I surrendered. And as a result, we sold Yoga One, and 2 years later, COVID-19 wiped out 70% of yoga businesses. You know this. COVID-19 wiped out a lot of businesses. So I consider myself really blessed, and I also consider it all being divine guidance. In other words, this is why I believe meditation is so powerful. When you sit in meditation, you become the channel. When you sit in quiet and stillness, you become that vessel for divinity to express itself through you. So in this stage, prayer and meditation, these are the tools that we all lean on to. And at a certain point in our lives, I'm reading right now Byron Katie book. Anybody here read Byron Katie works? Anyway, it's really dense. But she talks about this stage of our spiritual development. She had spontaneous enlightenment because she was laying on the floor and a roach climbed up her foot and she became enlightened. And now she wrote all these books. She does all this work around the world. she talks about this stage of our spiritual development. This stage is called as me. This is when we remember that we're one with God, we're one with the universe, we're one, the oneness of everything. This is what yoga is all about. Yoga means oneness. We're all one. And in this stage of our spiritual development, we realize, or we remember, that the divinity wants to express itself as us, God wants to express herself, himself, I don't know, through me, as me. Are you with me? So in this stage, it's prayer, it's meditation. And, you know, I want to believe that at some point in my life, I get a glimpse of that. Like we all had that. Have you ever had an experience when you felt like you were in the flow? Right? Maybe you're a writer and you started writing something and it just came with effortless ease. Or maybe you're an athlete, or maybe you're a runner and you run, and at some point you feel so light, as though something else is working through your body. It's not even you, you're flying. Have you ever had the experience where it's like you feel, I get goosebumps just talking about it, like you feel the synchronicity and the magic of it all, the miracle of it all. Something happened, something that you didn't expect, and you know deep in your heart that it was the divine hand guiding you through that experience. If you've ever had that experience, give me some jazz hands. Yeah, so we all had that experience at some point in our lives or other, when we felt that the divine, the universe, is working herself as me, as you, as all of us. We felt that sense of oneness with everything. I get to feel that when I'm out in nature sometimes. Like it's quiet early in the morning. I don't know what it is for you, but to me, it's often like I go outside here in the mountains at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark, you guys. That's saying that it's darkest right before the sunrise. It's the truth. And like that sense when the stars are all above me and the mountain air is so fresh, like sometimes I feel that. Have I intrigued you into meditation yet? Is anybody going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow? Just kidding. Okay. Okay, let us all take a deep breath right now. So in these next 2 days now, in this 3-day challenge, I want to share with you some of the tools that I use in my everyday life to shape my reality. And the first one that I'm going to share with you 2 today. The first one that I want to share with you it's called the power of knowing what you want. Write it down. The power of knowing what you want. So most of us are very clear on what we don't want. Let me give you some examples. You know, we say like, oh, I hate my job. I hate my job. And then if I were to ask you, like, what kind of job would you like to have? Or what is your dream job? Then most of us are like, oh, I don't know. Or we know kind of generally, but we really don't know specifically what kind of job we want to do. Or we say things like, oh, I don't want to date that loser. You know, or like all the good ones are already taken. But if I were to ask you, what are the good ones? Or how would you describe your soulmate partner? Most of us are like, I don't know. We don't know it with clarity. You know, and I like to say, like, look, if you don't know yourself what you want, not even God can help you. You know what I mean? You don't know yourself what you want. Or like, you know, a lot of times I talk to people who are having marital issues. You know, I help them with the relationships. So sometimes a woman would say, oh, my husband is so unevolved. He wouldn't even go to therapy with me. And then the husband finally goes to therapy and the wife is still unhappy. I'm like, look, you know, you wanted him to go to therapy. He goes to therapy with you. You're still not happy. Like, what would he need to do in order for you to feel satisfied? And you know, as a woman, I think I can speak for all of us. A lot of times I don't know what I want. When my husband and I are fighting, which is very rare, I'm triggered and all these emotions are flying. In that moment, I don't even know what I want. But if I remember, I take a deep breath and I remember, what, Albina, what would you want Roger to do right now to make you happy? Then in my mind, I answer it and then I tell him, okay, I would feel better, or I would feel whatever way I need to feel if you did X, Y, and Z. And him being a man, he's like, I can do that. Men are very good at following directions, but you have to give them directions. This is, we teach in another course. It's a relationship course that Roger and I lead together. Many of you already signed up for that. But it's just an example, you know. So the power of knowing what you want. I'm trying to think, are there any other examples that I came up for you? So it's a simple exercise. And to start, you know, you just draw a circle. This is actually going to be your homework for today. You draw a circle right here. And inside the circle, you write down everything that you do want. Outside the circle, you write down everything that you don't want. It can be anything from your job or your career to redecorating your living room. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. We're remodeling our house right now in Austin. You know, this exercise helps. What we want in the kitchen, what we want in the bathroom, what we want, what we don't want. So it can be as simple as, you know, what I want in my diet to what I want in my soulmate relationship. It can be small and mundane, everyday kind of stuff, or it can be something big as in your career or your relationship or your ideal client. Are you with me? So I'm offering you this exercise because once you kind of get into the habit of thinking this way, then it becomes, at some point, it becomes automatic. At some point, when you are having a fight with your significant other and you realize that you're triggered, and most of the time when we're triggered, guess what? We are in the victim mindset. You can pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself internally, well, what do I want? And then you can communicate differently with your partner, then everything changes. If I'm making sense, please give me some jazz hands. Okay, good, good, good. So let's start with that. Do the exercise, and you can do 1 or you can do 10. But usually I suggest the power of knowing what you want for the major areas of your life: your health, your relationships. It can be your relationship with your significant other, or it can be your relationship with your mother. It can be a relationship with your brother, your relationship with your boss, anything. You can like do the circle to every relationship in your life. Then the next area of your life is money, you know, money and like material things. And then the last one can be your vocation or your career, what it is that you want to do. And you may think that it's like a really primitive and oversimplified exercise. And I promise you guys, once you kind of get into the flow of this, thinking about things that way, like I said, at some point it becomes automatic. At some point, it literally, your brain is so trained that you go directly to what you want. Because guess what, you guys, the universe, the quantum field, the energy, it doesn't hear I want or I don't want. The universe only hears the essence of whatever it is that you're talking about. So if you say, I don't want to date that loser, the universe only hears that loser. And the next guy you get is, guess what? Is that loser. Oh yeah, Kira is like nodding her head. Yes, the universe doesn't hear I don't want or I want. It only hears the essence. So that's why focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And I wrote down an example. Anika Moorjani wrote this book called Dying to Be Me or something like that. Dying to Be Me. And did anybody read this book? I had the privilege of seeing her live at the Unity Church in Houston a few years back. And she tells this story. It's an incredible story. She actually died and then she came back, and she traveled around the world with Wayne Dyer, and she shares about her experience, her epiphanies, her enlightenment from that dying and coming back. But she says that before she died, I'm kind of laughing, but it's not funny at all. I don't know why I'm laughing. I guess I'm laughing because I'm really excited to be here with you. But she talks about like how she was so obsessed with like a super healthy lifestyle So she did everything. She exercised, she watched her diet, she read the latest research, all the books, and she focused on how to not get cancer. And guess what? She got cancer. She got cancer, and she had terminal cancer. And she actually shows, when she, in her speeches, she shows medical reports where she actually died. All her organs shut down. And then she came back. So Dying to Be Me is her book. I think seeing her life is more exciting than reading her book, to be honest, but maybe you'll enjoy the book more than me. But you know, there's just emphasis. What I picked this example to illustrate that the universe doesn't hear I want or I don't want. If you're obsessing with something, the universe only hears that vibration of whatever it is that you're obsessing about. This is why worrying is one of the worst things that you can do. You're imagining things that are not even happening, but worrying and focusing on those things that might happen, call in that energy. The universe is always responding to whatever it is that you're asking. And if you're asking, even though you say, I don't want this, but you're focusing all of your attention, all of your energetic bandwidth on that thing that you don't want, the universe is always listening and the universe is always responding. So please, please, please focus on what you do want and start with this simple exercise. And I promise you, it is a very, don't be fooled by the simplicity of this exercise. I call worrying praying for something bad to happen. Yes, Lori, I like that. Yeah, I like that. And you know, we direct our brain. It's another one of those examples I like to say. It's like, so every morning I wake up at 4 in the morning. So we have a well here. I fill up my bathtub with well water and I do my cold plunging in that freaking freezing well water. I lay there for 5 minutes. Do you think I want to do that at 4 o'clock in the morning? Hell no, I don't. But I train my mind. When I say go, we go. When I say go, we go. I train my brain. You know, do you think I want to meditate? Heck no, I don't. But I train myself that when I decide go, we go. Anyway, it's a topic for a different conversation. So that's one part of your homework, the power of knowing what you want. And the second thing that I'd like for you to do tonight is my latest meditation that I'm so obsessing over. I've done it like multiple times a day. It's called the Pink Bubble Meditation. The Pink Bubble Meditation, it comes from Shakti Gawain. I'm going to send you the recording after this call. So you're going to have it in your inbox. Please check your promo and your junk folder because sometimes my emails end up there. But it's a short, I think it's a 6-minute meditation. It's a manifesting meditation. It combines so many elements of the manifest magic, like envisioning, focusing on what you want, and then surrendering it into the hands of the universe. I call it the hands of God. It's all of that is that one 6-minute meditation. Okay. Any questions? What time do you go to bed? Lori is asking. I go to bed really early, 9 o'clock, sometimes even earlier. Okay, any questions? Yes, Kira, I like being a Black woman means that I can't be as successful as others. It isn't fair. Yes, so it's one of those limiting beliefs that prevents you. I mean, it's absolutely not true. I mean, look at Oprah. She's freaking a slay bae, right? Like she's doing it all. So it's not true. I always, when I catch myself on those limiting beliefs, I'm like, well, somebody else is doing it. Well, how come they're doing it? If they can do it, so can I. Okay, any questions, you guys? You can unmute yourself. I would love to hear how this is landing on you. Or if you have any questions, please, this is the time for you to ask questions. Oh, I'm also going to share with you guys that metta meditation, loving kindness, that helps you to let go and forgive. It's a very, very powerful tool. I'd love to hear 3 people share how this is landing on you.
I'll go.
Please.
This is Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
So it's all landing really powerfully. My kids are running around and screaming, and I have these lofty dreams I'm going after, and I'm crazy because I want to open a yoga studio right now. But it came to me as a really strong, powerful vision a year ago that I must do this to share like love and wellness. And I was so inspired by you when I met you, and then I never like saw you again. It was funny. Like I took one of your classes and I cried a bunch, and then another time there was a dinner. But anyway, it really resonated with me, and having a yoga studio was nowhere on my radar then. I was just empowered by your spirit. So right now the words you're saying are really reverberating, because with the chaos, I'm like, no, I'm still going to make this dream happen. I still believe it's something people need. I don't want people to lose touch with each other and with themselves. And just in all this chaos, where's the push for health and wellness and love and recognizing the divine light within, and that we're spirits, that we're souls. And it's so strange how I even like I wasn't searching for you or anything on social media. It just like popped up in this time when I need this to bring more spirituality back into my vision. And so everything you're saying, even though the kids are running around, is like breathing life back into this vision I'm holding on to, squeezing too hard instead of surrendering. And there's this Pocahontas song, and I play it. Listen with your heart, you will understand. Let it break upon you like a wave upon the sand. So I'm listening to you, and my heart is really full, because I know it was just a blessing that I even happened into this course. So
thank you so much, Whitney. Thank you so much for your words of acknowledgement. You know, you never know how you're landing on people. And in every moment in our lives, we are creating our legacy. And most of the time, we don't even know what kind of legacy we're leaving behind. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for singing. It just got me like this visceral reaction. I just felt all goosebumps all over. So thank you for sharing your gift with us. And you said it yourself, girl. There's also, like, when you hold on to that vision so tightly, it is also not correct. So what I like to say is, you know, trust the divine plan, trust the divine timing of things. And the Pocahontas was absolutely right. When you listen with your heart, you surrender, and you will know in your heart when is the correct time, when correct time will come. And when it comes, I'll help you, Whitney. I'll share with you everything I know about opening, growing, expanding yoga studio. I love that shit. So I'm happy to share it with you. And you know, when we were selling Yoga One, a part of me wanted so badly to hold on to it, because I looked at it as my baby. All 7 of them, all 7 studio were my babies. And it was so hard to just let go. But then I listened and I obeyed that divine guidance, and I let go. And that's when all the magic happened, you know. So thank you for your share with me. I'm breathing it in. Okay,
I'll share.
Yes, please, Kira.
Hi. So again, when I had your first abundance challenge, or that we did for 5 days, it couldn't have been a more perfect timing for that to come into my life, and that's what's happening with this one as well. I find myself in a time right now where you know, speaking of the limiting beliefs that I mentioned, during the movement that's happening in America right now, feeling very trapped. And, you know, I've always worked really hard my entire life, and like doing everything I can to move forward. And I find that I bring myself into that victim mindset and keep feeling like I'm not able to reach my goals, and I'm not able to reach my dreams. And I find myself trapped. And so it took me realizing that because I feel trapped is why I am trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about where I was when I had that thought, I let it go. And over quarantine, over the past, like, I would say 2 months, really, I just let it go. And it has like led me closer towards my goals and my dreams, which are now taking me across the world. I'm moving out of the country in 2 weeks and like moving in the middle of COVID. But this is what I listened and realized was like my opportunity and my chance. And it may seem crazy to other people and my family. But I know, and I listened, I know this is my next step in life with like every being in my soul know this is my right step. And it took me just letting it go. So to hear you say this, it was something that I realized, and it was a hard road to get to that. And since I've done that, I've been like selling all my things, which has been really hard, and like donating a mass amount of my things, which has been really hard. But at the same time, knowing that I'm doing it because it's what's meant for me to do. So it's just really significant. And like if this is what is meant for me, and if things work out the way it's supposed to work out, I'm finding myself reaching my goals a lot sooner than I thought I would ever be able to reach them in only 2 months of letting go. And that's absolutely amazing. Like I don't cry a lot, and I'm almost tearing up right now because 2 months ago, I thought I would never make it. And now by December, I should be achieving one of my goals.
Amen.
So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I need to say 3 things, maybe 4 things. First is whenever I hear the truth, I get this visceral reaction. And when you were speaking, I just got goosebumps all over. So yes, 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 you're speaking the truth. The second thing that I want to say is it's only hard if you say it's hard. Now remember, our words create our worlds. So whenever I catch myself saying, oh, it's so hard, immediately I rephrase it. It's been interesting. Oh, I'm learning so much about myself as I'm letting go of all these things, right? So I invite you all to take that word out of your vocabulary, because if it says something is hard, it will always be hard, because it's hard only because you say it's hard. The third thing, and I'm going to go ahead and take some credit for that, is remember how in the abundance challenge we talked about the vacuum law of prosperity, girl? Remember how we talked about it, and I said when you let go of something, it can be like just giving away your crap from your closet or your furniture. You create space for something new. Was I right or was I right?
You were absolutely right.
Yes, yes. It's not me. I didn't make up that law. I just shared it with you. And remember how you said that, oh, it was so hard for you to like do that. But look, I love these heavy stories. Like you let go of all this stuff and look, all these amazing things are coming into your life. That's so amazing. Yes.
Thank you.
There was one more thing that I wanted to say. What is it? Dang it. I should be writing down what I want to say, because there was 4 things. Dang. It will come to me. I'm going to DM you or email you. The 4th thing, I know it will come to me probably in the middle of the night, so I'll be emailing you in the middle of the night. But thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you so much, Albina. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dang it. Now I don't know what that last thing was. Okay. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow, because I hope you will come back tomorrow. So I've been like really obsessing about creative visualization technique. It comes from Shakti Gawain. This is what literally I've been doing for, I'm a nerd. So I listened to her book 5 times in the last 2 weeks. I've done her meditation multiple times a day. I recorded my own meditation inspired by her. So like I take everything to like a level 200. So tomorrow I'm going to share with you some of the creative visualization techniques in the evening. If you have time in the morning, I'm going to go a little bit deeper with my Manifest mastermind that I have going on. So I'm going to share even more. And then also tomorrow, we're going to talk about the power of incantations. So incantation is a magic spell. We all say that magic spell. Most of us are completely unaware, and because it's a magic spell, it unlocks a certain magic in our lives. So tomorrow we're going to talk more about incantations. I'm going to share with you my own incantations that I do like a mad woman every morning when I work out. And hopefully, you know, you can take it or leave it. But I do know that incantations are incredibly powerful. Thank you so much, Janelle. So I'm going to unmute you all so we can say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much.
I'll see you
Bye.
tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow, guys.